Hey, so one interesting thing I wanted to talk today was that you don't always need to generate more traffic to generate more leads. Because if you look at the numbers, so what I'm asking here from Google is that what's the average conversion rate for law firm websites from readers to actual leads to clients? And what tells me is the industry averages that we've seen before as well. Is that like the average conversion rate for a law firm website from reader to lead is typically between 2 to 5%. And what this means is that if you own a law practice or you manage marketing for a law firm, and I'm talking about family law firms here specifically, although it applies to other law firms as well, your main worry with having a website, you don't only care about generating traffic to the website, because just generating traffic's sake doesn't really do anything for you. The main reason for the website is to generate more clients for you, more cases, more revenue. Just average firm, average company, like most websites are quite awful. Like even ourselves, like my website even is quite awful in that sense as well. But anyway, the point is that if you look at the average numbers, there's a huge discrepancy here. Google says that the average conversion rate is 2 to 5%. So what it means is that if your law firm right now generates 1,000 visitors every month, and let's say you are at the lower half of that range, your website is able to turn 2% of your current visitors to actual customers. So let's say you're generating 1,000 visitors every month. Doesn't matter how you're generating it. We are an SEO company. Our main goal is to generate leads for our clients through SEO, through organic search. But we don't always need to generate more traffic to do that. Sometimes we can help our clients with just to improve their conversion rate. I'm going to show you a quick example of how the math works. So let's say you're generating 1,000 visitors every month, and these visitors are converting at 2%. So that's times 0.02. You're getting 20 clients from those 1,000 visitors. But now let's say you are able to improve your conversion rate by 50%. So that means instead of 2%, you're going to convert at 3%, which is still at even not, you wouldn't even have the average conversion rates here. The average between 2 to 5 is 3.5. So you would be below average still, but you would have increased your conversion rate by 50%. What this means is that now, if before you were converting at 2%, which led to 20 clients, now you would be converting at 3%, which would lead to 30 clients. And those 10 additional clients, the average customer lifetime value for a family law firm specifically, if you see my other videos, like we've analyzed this using ChatGPT and other research, is around $10,000 in the United States on average. So if an average lifetime value of a family law client is 10,000, then if you're able to improve your conversion rates by only 50%, and this might seem like a lot, but it actually isn't, but you could also improve it by 250% to get to the top end of the range, 5%. And there are even sites, like you can see here, like it says high performing sites may reach 8 to 10%. So let's say you only reach 3%, so you are able to increase your rate by 50%. And that means that you would be adding $100,000 in customer lifetime value in additional revenue per month. And to multiply it by 2 to get a number for the year, that's 1.2 million in extra revenue by just increasing your conversion rates by 50%. Now, how to actually do it? So the main point here with the numbers is that, like, why you should care. This is serious business here, because it's so much easier to improve your existing conversions than to just generate a lot of additional traffic. And if your conversion rates are lousy right now, then you might be better off just fixing your conversion rates, or just doing some minimal optimizations first, and then try to fix your leaky bucket first, and then go on and generate more additional traffic to your website that could then convert to visitors. And how to actually do it, how to actually increase your conversions by 50%. And in this day and age, it's not that difficult to do. We are partnering with a CRO agency that does this for our clients. Their services range from a couple $1,000s per month, but they are usually worth it. If you're generating at least a couple thousand visitors every month, they're definitely worth it, especially for law firms, because law firms, this is a high ticket service. And even if they can bring an additional one client to you, it's already worth it. But usually, in most cases, they are able to increase your conversions by 30%, 50%, or a couple 100% even, depending on the client. Anyway, how can you do it for yourself? Because most businesses don't really want to invest into a CRO company. So the easiest thing to do is you can just go to, I'm using this Open Atlas ChatGPT's browser, but you can just go to ChatGPT and add the prompt. If you go to the description of the video here, I'm going to add a prompt I'm using. It's just a simple prompt, and I'm going to show you how it works. So just go to your home page, or the idea here is that if you want to significantly improve your conversion rates for your entire website, you don't need to do this to your every page. You only need to do it to like your top 5 to 10 pages, because this alone will have a huge impact. And just figure out the pages on your website that have the most amount of traffic. So you can either do that through Google Search Console, if you have Google Search Console set up. You can do it through Google Analytics. Most businesses have Google Analytics set up. So Google Analytics, look at your pages and sort the pages based on which page has the most amount of traffic, and start from there. Just take your top 10 or top 5 pages, open them up. And then what you can do is you can simply go to ChatGPT or use the same browser I'm using right now, which is ChatGPT's browser. Open it up and add this, you can copy this from the description of this video, copy this prompt. And prompt says, I want you to ask as a senior CRO strategist specializing in family law firms. You can change that if you're not a family law firm. And basically what I'm asking is to analyze the page that I'm on. And if you don't use this browser, then you need to give it the page URL. So just give it your, I don't know, maybe your home page or your most important service page URLs, and do it one at a time, of course. And then it's just giving it like asking or telling ChatGPT to give us 10 high level, highly actionable, most important conversion rate optimization improvements that you could make to the site and why you should do them as well, because it's all a little bit of work. So you definitely want to know why you should do it, because otherwise you're just not going to do it. And here, like, here's just one example of what the suggestions GPT is giving me. By the way, it's calling me Konjuk. I don't know why, but anyway. And so here it's like 10 high impact CRO upgrades for this page. This is an example of one of the top rankers for, I just looked up like one of the top rankers for family law firms in Seattle, and the McKinley Irvin was the website that I found. So now some of the main things are, number one, add a clear value-driven hero CTA, missing above the fold. So this is something quite common with that we've seen also with some of the clients where we have had the recommended CRO agency work on their pages. Most clients or most people that visit your website do not scroll beneath the above the fold, so to speak. And what above the fold means is that this is the first area that someone sees when they land on your site. And most people do not actually scroll down on the site. They just look at the above the fold, so to speak. They just look at what they see and they do not scroll. If they don't like what they see, they're going to bounce. So you always need to have your main CTA, your main call to action above the fold, so that if I open up this page, this is what I see now. This is called a fold, everything I see here. If I go down, now I'm already going below the fold. The fold is here, and now I'm going below. This is above. So I hope it makes sense. You need to have a visible call to action. So this is a high impact activity. And again, ChatGPT is smart enough to know, because it has tons and tons of data inputted to it. It knows the conversion rate optimization best practices, and it is able to view your website and give you high impact activities. So that's a high impact activity. What to change? The hero section, meet Seattle premier law firm, has no primary CTA. It doesn't invite the person to take the next step. And it says that it increases conversions. Family clients want what do next, clarity. And this page is missing CTA, which is a huge leaking conversion opportunity. Where to implement? Directly under the hero copy on the left, under the text, how to execute. Add one dominant CTA plus one secondary option. Primary CTA, schedule a confidential consultation. So basically what ChatGPT is telling us is this business here should add a schedule a confidential consultation button right underneath the text here and make it really obvious. And then also add a secondary CTA as well, because the more buttons, of course you can overdo it, but like the more CTAs, the better. Speak to a Seattle family law specialist today, and then they have the phone number here as well. And also it says use contrast in button color, a gold used elsewhere. So yeah, it's also giving you ideas. Use AI to generate multiple CTA versions and A/B test wording with high emotional resonance. So this is a really good idea here. This is definitely a missed opportunity, because they are getting thousands of visitors to this page every month. And this is definitely a missed opportunity for them. Now, another recommendation it's giving is, and of course you don't all have to follow every recommendation, but odds are that if you do implement these things, because these things that ChatGPT is telling you are tried and tested CRO, conversion rate optimization improvements. So people have tested these things and these things have been proven to work. Not all of them will apply or work for you, but like the more you implement, the better your conversion rate is going to be. So it's not impossible to go from 2% to 8% even if you implement these things. And even more so if you're not just doing organic traffic, but also paid traffic as well. Because that means that if you're able to get your paid ads conversions to increase by 50%, this means that your cost to acquire a client or cost to acquire a case is going to go down by a lot. And this is going to significantly improve your paid ads return on ad spend as well. So it says, instead of why choose us proof block under hero. So providing proof of why they are a good law firm to choose. And again, putting it straight above the fold. And it's also giving you some specific recommendations. Over 3,000 Washington families represented. That's a really strong proof element here. Over 3,000 Washington families. So yeah, it's like they've done a lot of business, they've done a lot of divorce cases. So definitely a trustworthy firm. Named best law firm, tier 1, 2026. Largest family law firm in the Pacific Northwest. Again, a huge thing. Then add some logos here as well. Add a free case evaluation, sticky, mobile CTA par. So many different things. Add emotional reassurance copy in the first paragraph. Paragraph is factual but emotionally cold, so it's giving really high value improvement ideas here. I wanted to say I'm blown away because I've seen how powerful ChatGPT can be, but most people don't know how valuable this can be. Most people are probably mistaking ChatGPT for just a nice gadget, but this can bring a lot of additional value to your business, and it's not that hard to do. You can just take the prompt, implement on your website. You can improve the prompt. I worked on it. a bit, but like definitely improve it, but you don't even need to. It's good enough as it is. And here you can see some other things as well. Convert the attorney grid into a high trust conversion block. And also at the bottom here, it's giving us top 3 highest leverage fixes. The first thing again is the strong hero CTA, but all of the other ones here as well, I read through them. They're all valuable. I don't want to spend too much time on your hand because this isn't your business. So I don't want to bore you with the details. And another thing is this is just their Seattle divorce law page. So I would, like if this was my business, I would start fixing the service pages first because these are the highest impact. These are the highest converting ones. Then I would because I don't have access to Google Analytics, this is not my client, this is not my business. But what I would do if I was in their shoes, I would start looking through their pages that have the most traffic. So their top 10, top 20, even depending on how much time and resources I have to dedicate to this. And I would start going through the pages one by one, starting from the highest traffic pages. The page that I was looking at was this Seattle page here. And this was getting 737 visitors every month. So yeah, I assume this was getting a few thousand. So 737, that's still a lot. But yeah, there are other pages as well, like this one here. What happens if a spouse won't sign the wallpaper? And this is generating 822 visitors. So let's see, I have opened it up and I came in at the same prompt. And this is a blog article, so it's a little bit different. But as you can see in the blog article, this is just an article that gets a lot of traffic, but it doesn't have any CTAs. Oh, it does have this one, but it's still up on the right here. There are no CTAs here because people are usually just, when they start scrolling through or reading through the blog article, they read the title and then they just head on here. They don't usually go to here. Their eyes don't go to here, usually in most cases. Yeah, like now the same prompt is giving us 10 ideas on how to significantly improve the conversion rate of this particular blog article. And by improving the conversion rate of a blog article, what it means is just like, you don't want people to just read your blog articles and then go away. Okay, thanks, nice information. Okay, thanks, bye. You want them to actually get in touch with you. And it doesn't suffice to only have this contact us. Even more so because if I scroll further, this disappears. So let's say I read down here and I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. This was good information. And I'm going to click X. You don't want to do that. What you should do instead is add CTAs. Add CTAs and follow the instructions that ChatGPT is giving you. This is a powerful thing that you could do for your business. And again, here, some of the recommendations that ChatGPT is giving us. So here, what ChatGPT is telling us is that I'll assume the firm's main goal here is to turn anxious visitors whose spouse won't sign into consultation requests, calls, form fills. This is exactly what the aim of the blog article is. But basically, the company right now, they have tons of visitors to this one blog article. They are doing a lousy job in getting those people to actually convert. Yes, they have a big form here, but even this big form here, like people don't usually want to bother with filling out everything here as it is. And an even better version would be to have a one at a time form here. So they fill out these things just like they first start with the name. Once they enter it, then they get the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. If you just put it all to their face, it's just too much to do here. So they're not going to bother at all. This CRO tip and some of the others you can see from here. And there are some really high level ones. One of the main things you can see here again is to add a strong CTA to above the fold. There isn't any here. This is a huge missed opportunity. By doing that alone, we increase the conversions by over 50%, or I would assume even more from this blog article, but there's nothing here right now. Another thing is add a cool this BU scenario block to build empathy and relevance. What AI is recommending here is something quite powerful. People will really trust somebody who, even a blog article, if the blog article talks about or strikes a nerve with them. So if you can call out something that they're probably suffering from, if you know their issue better than, if you can describe their issue better than they can themselves, this will build a lot of trust with them. This will make them think that they will trust you because you obviously know about their situation. So it's recommending to add something. Does this sound familiar? Your spouse is refusing to sign the divorce papers. And then ask an attorney what happens in your situation. So basically it's telling to add some, does this sound familiar sections here to further add relevance and to make the build trust and rapport with you. If you are talking about these things, you know how to handle these cases. So what you should do if your spouse won't sign step by step, file a review. So basically giving next steps, and also we can review a draft or prepare one for you, subtly inviting people to take the next step. And again, these are just some examples. You don't have to implement all of them. And at the bottom, as per the prompt, you will get the top 3 recommendations, but I would highly recommend to go through all of them. And also what I would recommend to do is, if you are able to extract the top 10 pages that you have right now and extract how much visitors you're getting and what's the current conversion rate from those pages. This can be blog articles, service pages, and then do those improvements. Try to do as many as you can. You can give yourself a time limit, I don't know, 5 to 10 hours. Sometimes you might need to involve a developer if needed. Sometimes you don't. You can just edit the content and then let it run for 30 days and see what's the difference in conversions. And once you see that this actually works, you will be way more motivated to proceed with this on your other pages. So yeah, I'm not going to bore you with the recommendations for this particular article because this is specific to this particular law firm, but it is slightly relevant to you as well. So that's it. That's the main idea. You don't always have to get more visitors. Often you will generate a lot more cases from your existing traffic by just working on your conversion rates. And a hack to do that is to just figure out what are your current pages that are already generating the most traffic and start from those. Because usually that 80-20 rule applies, which means that 20% or even 10% of your articles or pages are generating 90% of your traffic. So if you focus on those, you're going to have 90% of the impact from just working on 10% of your pages. And you can find the CRO prompt from the description as well. Hey, do you own or run marketing for a family law firm in the United States? If you do, I have a simple offer for you. Do you want to know who's currently ranking number one in your city, how much they are making from ranking number one, and what would you need to do to beat them, to rank number one yourself? If you press the button down below, I'm going to ask you three things: the city you're in, your own domain name, and your email, because I'm going to record a short 5 to 10 minute Loom video talking about who's number one, why they're number one, how much money they're making from being number one, and what do you need to do to beat them. So if you want the video, just press on the button, answer the three questions, and I will record it and send it over to you as soon as I can. But because these takes time to record and analyze, I can only do 10. So if you're interested, just add your details here and be sure to be quick. Thank you.